Alright, what's up everybody? It's Joe from Jazzy Games Match with another cool live stream. And actually today we're going to be doing something pretty fun. So what I've been doing actually off to the side, and that is kind of interesting, is that I've been actually working on trying to get the new hold on. The new floor plan for this. So let's hold on here. Hopefully this is on the right spot. Yeah, it is. So we're gonna try and get a new floor plan for this. So give me a second. Let's open up our there we go. Open this up, and we're actually gonna get the new floor plan since it's updated, and this floor plan is gonna be a lot easier overall than the current one we have. So I just want to update it, and hopefully we can do that. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do here is zoom in on the 20 meter here. Yeah, I think you said you were sick yesterday. I hope that it's nothing too serious. I hope it's not too bad for you, because that would not be fun. Alright, we're just gonna take this square. I gotta remember how to do all this. I know this has to be the same as this corner here. I need to make sure this is the 100% correct, because if it's not, then we could run into issues with what we've already built. But of course we'll make it we'll make everything work in the end. That's how we do. All right, you know. See if I can actually get myself in the right position here. Just got to zoom really far out and then zoom in. I don't want to move the photo. No, I want to move where we're sitting. I'm not very familiar with Photopea that much, but it's what I use because it's the tutorials that I've seen use it. So for me, it makes it the easiest to use because it makes it easier to follow said tutorials, and usually I have to end up finding those tutorials again because I don't memorize all of the numbers very well. So width 960 and 540. Gotta remember, those are the numbers I gotta remember, because that will give us our thing. But appreciate you guys being here. If you guys don't know what we're doing, we're working on a new floor plan here for Silver Dollar City. Hopefully it works pretty good. So what we're gonna have to do here is, this is what our billboard looks like, and what we got to do is create markers here using our rulers. That way we can slice these into individual photos. Hopefully that will, I'm not sure how something like this would work. Maybe we gotta, I think the last one I sliced it into 2 different photos, but I can't remember. I'm not entirely sure what I did, but we could do that because like this bottom one is not going to fit properly. Or we could actually put it kind of up here. Could overlap it as well. That is an option. Yeah, you could definitely see the pads better on this. That's definitely why I wanted to use this photo in particular. because you can see everything a little bit better. Now, all these billboards are not going to fit the proper way, but we're going to try and figure it out here. So, no panicking here. Now, we don't need to worry about this right one, because as long as this covers up like Thunderation and Time Traveler, we don't need this road. Let's see. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes both retiring by 2031. Where'd you hear that? I have not heard anything on that. But my thought process here is maybe we can put a slice here when it just kind of overlaps on the bottom ones, and we'll just line them up. That could be an option. Excuse me. All right, hopefully get this the way we need to. We're gonna go all the way over here. Excuse me. Like I said, we might have to overlap some of these, which is okay. Shouldn't be too hard to do that. Again, I haven't done this in a while, so when it comes to creating these like slices and such, I'm gonna try and make it work. Let's see if I can also do the bottom one okay. I think hopefully you can overlap these. Like if I want to put one there. It looks like we can, so. Oops, wrong one. We need slice tool. There we go. I should be able to just line that up. Should be able to snap with those. So you can see these bottom ones are going to kind of overlap, which is okay. That is okay. Not a big deal. Okay, and let's get rid of, we don't need that anymore. And then we need to save, hold on, let me look at the tutorial real quick. File, PG, all slices. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off just for a moment to figure out what we're doing. try to where'd that save? In my downloads? In my downloads. Okay. So I'm actually gonna go to photos. There could be spoilers in here, so I'm not going to like show you my stuff. F or E. I think it's file that has the photo files. Not that it matters because we're gonna. I just need to move this. So we're gonna cut this into. Sorry for the black screen. We're gonna get going here shortly, but I needed to do this. Madden, you're going off Madden. I'm sorry. Let's see. I don't know how much space we have on the C drive. Oh, we got plenty of space. Okay. So we'll just go into photos. I'll make its own folder to make it easy. I'll just call it SDC floor. Paste that in here, and then we're gonna extract files. That should give us all of our images, I think. Yeah, all our sliced images. It did create a weird sliced image for some reason. And the bottom ones did not slice properly. Oh boy. It did cut them down into a weird shape. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Not what we wanted at all. We might have to like do a different thing here. Maybe. Because that's gonna, if we put that on the screen, it's gonna stretch it out. And we can't have that. Can't have that. So, let's start over here. I know, how dare me black screen you guys. Anyways. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this again. I did that completely wrong. When I don't know what to do, that's what I do. Completely went the wrong way. We need to zoom over here. Why is the zoom so hard to mess with on this? Like, I want to move over. Why can't I move over? Wait, okay, I figured it out. I got it. Shift. Boom. There we go. Boom. Then we can zoom out again here. Whoa. What the heck is that? Oh, don't move that. It shouldn't be this hard. Okay. Take this. Free transform. It's under edit. Free transform. And 9, I always forget. I know it's 540. You don't have to do this much. It's easy once you, if you know how to do it properly, but I'm struggling because I'm, it's 960 by 540. Gotta remember that. See, I always forget the numbers, and that's why I have to look up tutorials again, because I always forget the numbers of the billboard. So See, if we went down, up. Okay, so we're basically just going to have to do... We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do 2 different ones. And then we'll just overlap them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go from top to bottom to start. You know, I don't technically have to do these, I don't think, but... So we'll go as far down as we can, which is right here. And we're not going to use those bottom ones. Use our own bottoms. All right. And that's all we need from that. So we can delete that, and then we're going to use our slice tool. To create our slices. For all of these, I don't know if it'll still create the other ones or not. It probably will. We don't want them, but... Oh, crap. Get rid of that one. Messed that one up. Didn't have it lined up properly. Right, 2 more layers here. You can see it. I think it also does the bottom one too. See how it gets? Maybe not. Just does like random numbers again. You can see that it's already numbered down here. I don't know why it does that. And then we're going to go in and renumber these to make it a lot easier on us. So, all right, we got those. Now we can go ahead and export as PNG, all slices. Should be good. All right, and then we're going to go back into our files for a second, which means black screen for a little bit. Anyways, like I said, you don't have to do this much. I'm just really... I've just messed it up multiple times, so... Don't look too far into it. Photos, SDC floor. Let's delete the old files, because those are outdated now. Extract here. Extract these files out, and see how those turned out. Don't know why it's even doing that. Okay. Some of those are weird. We're going to delete the ones that we don't want. And then I'm going to renumber these. Alright, so this is the top left one. I'm going to rename you to SDC floor 1. And this is that one, which is SDC floor 2. If I can actually spell, apparently. And it should be all in order, so SDC floor 3. And then this will be SDC floor 4. Sorry, I should have done all this off screen, but I just realized it, but I wanted it done for this next one, SDC floor 5. SDC floor 6. I'm gonna try and move quick. Floor 4. That's 4. that makes sense. Yes, I'm making sure it's still in the right order. 6, that's 7. Making sure it's in the order I want. We're gonna go left to right and down. So, SDC. Not that you guys can see any of this because I have. Hey, welcome to the stream. What's up, Narsh? Doing great. I'm feeling great right now. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I haven't had much of a cough yet today, which is a good sign. So I didn't cough too much last night. I didn't actually cough really much until I laid down to go to bed. I had one little coughing fit, and then after that coughing fit, it was fine. So hopefully that trend continues. All right, we still have to go back and do another. I love the click. I don't know if you can hear the clicking of my keyboard, but it's so satisfying. Well, 13. 13, 14, 16 here, 15, and SDC floor 16. Trying to keep it organized to make it easier when we get into Planet Coaster. It's a little dark. It is a little dark right now. It's so dark you can't see anything. Thank you for your patience, guys. We're almost done. We just have to get one more set of slices here that we're gonna do at the bottom, and then we're just gonna overlap it. So I can show you guys here, so you guys can view something again. There we go. One more time. One more time for fun. Okay. All right, so 960 by 540. Once we do free transform. 960 by 540. There it is. And then we're going to do our last bit of slices that will go down here. So we're going to do a bottom layer here, and then we'll just overlap the excess with because this is going to overlap. Pro. Put this one in the wrong spot, and now I can't move it, can I? So mad. And if I do undo, it's not gonna undo that, of course. Oh man, I'm a mess. Alright, let's try this again. I got it there. I'm making this way more complicated than I need to. Alright, these are going to be our last bit slices here that we really need. Okay, sorry for this, guys. I appreciate you being here. you didn't know, I do appreciate you guys being here. Okay. Alright, so... But we're almost done. We just got to get our final slices in here. I'll name these accordingly. And then we'll get our new ones in there. So let's see, export as PNG, save our slices, and cut that. Photos. SDC floor. Paste. Place and destination. Extract files. The aquarium. What aquarium? What aquarium are you talking about? Why did you name this the exact same thing? Come on, man. Why would it be named the same thing? We'll just put it in a new folder and extract it in here so it's not the same name. Simple. Okay, images. Alright, we should only need these 4. Yeah, 4. Let's delete the excessive ones. We're going to cut these into the file folder that we want it to be in, which is this one. Paste. What do you mean there's the same? What? Where did these come from? What? Why are there... Where did these screenshots come from? You weren't in there earlier when I was numbering these things. Get out of here. And of course it named it the same thing. Why is SDC? Because I didn't spell it right. That's why. There we go. Okay, now they're in order. Now I should be able to paste these in. Why is there no option to paste? Hold on. Dear goodness, why is everything so difficult? For no reason. Go in here. Paste. There you go. Okay, so you're this one. So you're going to be renamed to SDC floor 17. SDC floor 18. We got 20. 19. And SDC floor 20. So those last 4 are going to be overlapped with the other ones. We just got to line them up. Should be simple enough. I'll delete the other folder. We don't need it. And then we're going to take all of these images and put them in our folder for Planet Coaster. So our need to go to I think it's this documents, Frontier Developments, Planet Coaster 2, user media, and put them in here. They are a different name, so they should be fine because I added the word floor in them. So, all right. So, with that being said, we should be done now. We should be able to launch Planet Coaster now, and we should have our new floor plan ready. Hopefully I did everything right. If I didn't, well, that's going to suck. Alright, and now we should get Planet Coaster 2 with no blank screen. Now we're good. Thanks for your patience, guys. Now we can get some stuff done. launch Silver Dollar City. Make sure our billboards work. We're gonna have to line it up with the previous one, and hopefully it lines up okay. Like, I feel like it's gonna be easier said than done, but you know. Alright. So you can see our old floor plan right here. Now we're gonna have to go in to our screens. Billboards. Alright, 16 meters. What's the biggest one? 30. I think it's the 32 meter one. Yeah, 32. We should make that. I think it's 600%, but I think with the update of this, I could technically make it bigger. Holy crap. I'll have to keep that in mind for next time, that I could probably get away with just using a couple of billboards. But I think we need 600%. I think that's how big these are 600%. So, because that's what there was an update to the scaling mod where you could actually make them even bigger. So, which is interesting. So we have SDC. We need SDC floor 1. Look at that. All right, and all we would have to do to get started here is to line this up where this would be here. So this is going to be kind of interesting. I gotta figure out where this is. This is like just off to the side. It's okay, we'll hopefully get some more clarity on the second one. Floor 2. Why does it order it like this? It puts the double digits after first. That's so confusing. Like, just put it in order. Okay, now that we can see our run there. Wait, is that incorrect? That line doesn't make sense. Hold on. Was this puzzled together wrong? That's 2, right? SDC floor 2. SDC floor 2. Unless the first one's wrong. That should be SDC floor 1. Which it is. Why is it not lined up properly? It should be going from left to right. Let's see what 3 looks like. Yep, these are all out of order. I don't understand what I did wrong. It should be going from left to right. Now I gotta freaking piece these together. Gosh dang it. Because they're not all right. I labeled them correctly. I'm so confused. Alright, there's new fire in the hole. It's upside down. I got these billboards flipped upside down. That still doesn't make sense though, because you know what I mean? We're just gonna have to get all the billboards down and then puzzle them out, I guess. Wait. See, I didn't label that one as 5. I'm so confused. Let me look at my SDC floor 1, 2, 3. It should be going left to right, but why isn't it? I'm so confused of what I did wrong there. I really don't know, because that's wildfire. That shouldn't be in, like, the 5. Or 6. Alright, I see another piece of outlaw. Which I think this goes down here. Yep. Alright, we pieced something together. We know that one goes there. And I think this one goes to the left of this one. This one goes over here. Yep, that is correct. Alright, and you can see we're going to try and line this up with the current one that we have to try and fix it up. Oh, hey, this actually goes right here. That one fits right there. We got that right. That one was 5, wasn't it? I wish it would change. Yeah, it does 5. Have we put down 6 yet? We did. We need 7 next. Let's see what number 7 is. It is Time Traveler. Number 8. See, River Blast, Flooded Mine. Thunderation. I wish this would have went in the order I was hoping to make it simpler, but I guess that was too much of an ask. You know what I mean? So now we gotta puzzle it. I love puzzles, so why not? Alright, this should be 10. I see Powder Keg. Part of Wildfire. 10, we need 11. I hope this works. Alright, so that is Flooded Mine. Okay. I'm trying to work from Outlaw Run, so anything I see like from there, we're gonna piece together. SDC floor 12. Echo Hollow. See Echo Hollow and Time Traveler. Where's Time Traveler at? There it is. Let's at least try and get something going here. Oh boy, that is overlapped. I don't know why. This one should not be overlapped. What did I do wrong? That is not lined up at all. What the heck? Oh, I did the wrong one. That's SDC 7. This needs to be floor 7. Of course I would do that. Have I been selecting some of the wrong ones? I was like, yes, SDC 5. Floor 5. This needs to be floor 5. Hold on. Oh, that's the 153. It needs to be, it goes down here. I was confused for a second. Alright, the puzzle's coming together a little bit. Alright, that is floor 4. 1, 2, 3. It is in order. I'm just stupid, apparently. Like, I think what threw me off is I selected a few of the wrong ones. That's what threw me off, I think. Because I selected the wrong image. I selected the old one by accident. That's what happened to me. 4. Alright, so this should be 5, 6, 7, 8. See, I selected the wrong one here too. How? I was trying to make sure I was selecting floors. The right ones, and I still messed up. 8. Okay, so that's 8. Where's the 9? Yep. How did I select that many wrong ones? I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I don't understand how I messed up that drastically, because I even told myself not to do it that way. This is why I got it all messed up. So it is correct. I'm just literally, because you can see how thicker the trees are here. It's the wrong one. All right, this was 10. We need floor 10. I'm so dumb. We need floor 10. Here it is. Jeez. 10. Here's 11. And 12. Alright, now we're good. Now we can start getting some stuff done. I completely messed this up all on my own. Like, this is... Alright, next will be 13, which will go down here. So you're 13. Floor 13. Floor 13. There you go. Floor 14. There you go. Hopefully we don't have to do this again. Hopefully this is the last time. The only time I would probably redo this is if they had the new ride updated on there. So 15. Next one is 17. Is this the overlapping ones? We'll find out. That's in a... Yeah, no, this is... Alright. Because 17, 18, 19, 20 should both be the overlapping ones. Which is correct. However, why is this over here? It's fine, it has to overlap, but... I must have... Where's this spot? Where is this picture? Like, this is fine right here, but where'd this photo go? Why is there a picture missing? Because there should be 20, right? I don't even know, man. That's floor 18. Okay, so that matches up there. And then we have 19 right here. Maybe 20 somehow got moved over there. That's what I'm hoping. There's that one. What is... Now I'm curious, what does 20 look like? It's the wildfire one. Okay. Okay. Slightly out of order, but I'm fine with it as long as it's over here. It's fine. Slight mess up, but that's fine. Okay, there's our new floor plan. completely big square. Now, our big challenge, I didn't do like the parking lot over here since we've already got it completed. Now the question is we just need to get this lined up with the other floor plan, which is going to be easier said than done. Gazebo stage there. Alright, you see that road? We're going to line that up. This parking lot needs to be lined up. Kind of see that there. Do I need to go more to the left? I don't know. Maybe it would be easier if I got rid of the other floor plan for a second and just lined it up based on what I have. As you can see, I'm off there. The road. The road should be around right there. Should really try and just line these buildings up. Right there. Should realistically be around right here. That is about as close as we're gonna get, I think. Your grandfather's mansion. Let's take a look at the square where we're at. Alright, here's Hill Street, so we're not too far off. If we're not off at all. Oh, I guess we could use this as well. As you can see, I got... Whoa, 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 whoa. Why? Okay. I freaking hate those advanced move piece of tools. So freaking annoying. Screwed the entire thing up. But I'm looking at, like, this building right here, kind of. If I line that up with it, that should be around right there. Here's Hill Street, which looks about right. Alright, Valley Road. Is that the bridge? I can't tell. It's kind of hard to see. There's the bridge. I think this is the truss bridge. Kind of looks weird. Wait, it looks right there. Okay, yeah, so here's Candygate. That is roughly about right. I'm just gonna place it right there. See, the roads are off. Like, especially right there. Jeez. It could also have, like, a slightly different rotation. But it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because... But you can see our new floor plan now. Basically, that's our new floor plan. And I think we're going to go based off of what we have right here now. And I think it's okay, because... Alright, this is not Cave Road the same. This is different. I didn't do the front part. Because we already pretty much had it done. So I tried to fit it all in one screenshot. You can see I lined that up with Powder Keg kind of well. But now you can really see, like, layouts like Outlaw Run are very clear now. So I can very clearly see the layout. Unlike the last floor plan. This floor plan will make it a little bit easier on that. The layout in general. So always kind of hard to do transitions like that, and you got to be careful, but We do kind of have a successful transition there. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Time traveler, we probably would just have to slightly move over, but it's there. There's a slight shift, but it's okay. We can adjust to it just fine, but this is also nice because in the last floor plan, this was all under construction. This floor plan, it's already got the Fried Fancies and the new furniture stores all ready, done, and built. So you can see we already have the construction of the 2027 attraction already in place here with this new floor plan. So that's definitely it's more updated, and it's easier to see some of the paths as well. So, which is very helpful to us. Nice. All right, let me get this in place. Not Steam. There we go. There we go. Now I can see everything properly. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Man, it's already 1 p.m. That's crazy. Okay. I'm gonna pull up that reference of this building again so we can continue to work on it. Just gotta find it. There it is. Cool beans. Put my phone on the stand so I can get a good shot of it. I wish I would have got more angles, but, you know, we'll take what we got, I suppose. Alright, we're going to continue to kind of mess with the terrain a little bit here. I actually need to somewhat flatten it out over here because we need that flattened a bit. Size, pull that up there, and you smooth that out. Copy existing texture. We're gonna honestly, what texture should we use here? Probably just a gravel texture and just make it like a color like that. Turn off angles snapping here. Do we have conforming or is it automatic? Let's do conforming. Just to keep it where we need it. And we need this to line up with the building, basically. That's gonna connect with like first aid and such. Is that the color I gave it? I guess so. We need to make it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. This is a little bit difficult to work with, but we're gonna hopefully make it work. Lots of smoothing. This terrain doesn't matter right now, we're just focused right in this area. So that's what we're gonna work with. Turn my intensity down. You gotta be real patient when you try and get this terrain work done, because it can be a pain in the butt. You just gotta have a little bit of patience and kind of work it in. Really trust your smooth tool. Alright, let's try and do some stuff here. We're gonna go with this texture, and we're gonna go make sure that merge is turned off. Yeah. Kind of like that. Make sure that's connected with that. And you can see that we're really trying to just get our stuff done in there. So we do have some like tables, chairs, and everything like that. There's a fence here with a. Let's get the kind of the wooden fence going here with the stuff, with the stuff. Really start to get this looking where we need it. So. Pushing where we need. Alright, so I think this would be the best texture for it. And we're gonna change the color to kind of a yellowish. Color, turn on angle snap. And we're gonna create our fencing here for the host lounge. Alright, this actually overhangs a bit here. Not by much, but a little bit. I'll go all the way up to the door. Don't do that to me, bruh. You're live and I'm here. That's crazy. Yeah, it is, Silas. It is crazy. But it's a good thing, right? Probably. Not probably, it's a good thing. Alright, we need a roof. Like a steel roof. A steep one. Supports for this. And just like that, we've got our host lounge kind of starting to come together. Isn't that beautiful? We probably should put a staff room in here. Like a functional staff room. That would probably be a good idea. So it actually, like, functions as a staff room. You know? So. At least I think that would be a good idea. But one little thing you can do if you run into an issue like this, just split these from the building, make it their own, and then you just line it up. Problem solved. Our host lounge should be free. You know, a lot of things should be free. But they're not, so. Alright, let's see. This one? Is it this one? Why is it so far down? This. Throw a little gray in there. A little bit of gray. What happened here? Why is this one so far back? What happened? Hello? Place. It's not free, but it is cheap. You gotta give them that. It is cheap. It does not cost a lot. I mean, they give us free food once in a while. We have, like, free food days. Also free drink days every payday. So it's not all that bad. Like, stuff isn't free, Silas. Stuff in life just isn't free. Why would you can't go into life expecting stuff to be free. Now, I will say it is bullcrap that the foods people get a free meal every day. If you work in foods, you get a free meal. That's kind of bullcrap. Because that's not, like, to me, that's not really fair, and that's kind of, like, not fair to the other employees, you know? That's the one thing I will say is kind of stupid. And then they make such a big deal for like if food employees hand out free food, they make such a big deal out of it. Like they'll get in big trouble for it. It's kind of dumb. Bum, bum, bum. I should have got a lot more angles of this, but I did not, so I might have to wait till I get a couple of the angles that I need here before completely moving on with it. Bone. Alright, we should have... for some, like, wall decorations, a specific, like... Just gotta find the right one. Pretty sure there is something. What I'm looking for here. Am I just crazy? Maybe I am just crazy. That? It's a trim. Maybe if I type in trim, I'll get more options. Let's try typing in trim. There we go. Maybe if I do some recoloring, kind of get what we want. I hate, like, spending so much time on something like this, though. You know what? I think this will work just fine. Beautiful. I'd imagine there's a corner piece. There it is, okay. We'll come back to that in a sec. Because I think we did scale this down a little bit, didn't we? At that 74%. We gotta take this down to 74. for it to properly fit in there. There we go. That's pretty good. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. There we go. Get that on both sides. As we get more and more details of this area. Details are good. Very good. Bum 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 bum. Alright, there's a big like little planter thing here. So I think we're gonna utilize kind of the same kind of thing here. Indicate will be right there. First aid is right here. Perfect. And we are going to have to make some adjustments here so guests can't just walk in this way into the park. But, because obviously we don't want that. Bum 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 bum. That is not what I... Oh. Come on, bruh. Do hope you guys have been doing well lately. Hope you guys are having a good Christmas season, great everything, you know, all the above, wherever you may live or whatever you celebrate. Hope all is well. No land to surface needed there. Or stick to surface. Come on, man. You know I don't want that. Just gonna push the path up so there's no grass showing. As we just kind of continue to get all that squared away. So we do have to remember that this building is connected with the restaurant. Overall. So we'll make that connection at some point. So just kind of gearing us up for that. So that all looks solid. And that will continue to develop. We'll continue to develop that. I just don't have a whole lot of... At the moment, I just don't have a whole lot of references for this backstage area. I just have one photo I'm going off of right now, so I need to get some photos of this spot right here, right before the gate. There's like a ramp here. Like, I don't have it... I can't do it based off of memory. I could try, but like... Oh yeah, this is way more efficient than what we did last time. I do want to get to the square done soon. Get phase 2 done, get on to phase 3. But yes, this is a recreation of Silver Dollar City. In case you didn't know, I work there. So I have a lot of access to a lot of this stuff. Like what I got good knowledge of stuff right now, or overall. So that helps a lot. Like for instance, we're working on this backstage area. I got reference photos of it, so. You love that the American flag is currently chief beef. Isn't that great? I do kind of maybe want to work on this prototype stuff of Powder Keg a little bit. Very prototype. Oh, we actually have some audio we can put in for this. It actually plays on the brake run now. Let me actually see if I can get that audio in here. We have the Powder Keg, part of the Powder Keg theme that plays, which we can trigger, which will be great. Where did I put that file? I think I downloaded it. Is this it? I think this is it. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this Powder Keg. Yeah, let's get this audio in here. The only thing is I might have to yeah, we're gonna go and we have to might have to get a different format for it because it's it's not like an MP3 or anything like that, so we might have to go in and format it real quick. It's an AMR file. I've never heard of that before, so I'm gonna assume that it's not gonna take in in this. So let's just make it in do wave or MP3, I think. Let's make it a wave. Our downloads. There it is. Okay. Let's go to our output folder so I know where it's at. Ah, it's so loud. That was so loud. Alright, let's see if I can rename this to Powder Keg Theme. And we're going to put it into our custom files for Planet Coaster. User media. Wait, no, audio. Audio. Actually, I have not put that much audio into the game, which is interesting for me. All right, so let's get our speaker in here and just see how this sounds in game. So if I can remember where the speakers are, I think they're in here. Yep. Because it plays on the brake run now. They actually just changed that too. Do 100%. Go to our this. We got our refresh. There it is. Powder Keg Theme.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red.
Light the fuse. No time for dread. You're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
We're gonna have a blast on this
Powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Blast on this powder keg. See, one thing I wish is that I could get this. If you guys have any ideas, maybe you can help me out. Because this is like, I'm not working on Powder Keg, but I'm getting ready for when we do. That way I have this figured out. So I've been like doing some like prototyping of how I want to do this. Obviously with the transfer track, I don't think there's a way to get it to stop for longer than the half second that it does. You know what I mean? I don't think there's an option unless they added one like secretly to this platform where you can actually there is a pause option, so if we did slow pause, how that slow is still so fast. See, I think I already have the pause on there, but the pause is still not long enough. See, I wish Frontier would allow us to add a second feature, like it allows us to change the seconds of how long it pauses. To me, that would be very valuable. And having more options for these. Why is it only selecting that? Like, I'm literally... It's underground. I'm trying to select this. Why can't I select this? Okay. Let's raise it up, so... I'm glad they gave us more options for these, but like, they really need to give us more options with the animations. Like when you go on the animation, allow us to set how long the pause is, so that way I can set the pause for like 60 seconds or something, so it stays at the end for like 60 seconds. That's what I really need. But there's also an ultra slow as well. But the only problem is like it immediately goes back. It doesn't stay. There's no way to get it to stop at the one on the other end. The only thing I could think of is if we reverse it and like its natural spot is up here, and then it only goes down when triggered. I think that might be the move, is we might reverse it That might be the move I'm thinking of. We might just have to reverse it. So that way it stops at the top for as long as we need it. And then once this piece goes back down, we can have it go slide back down. And then we can have it slide back down once it goes over the second hill, because that's when the piece actually goes down as well. That way there's that cool little visual of the transfer track actually moving. So if we actually do ultra slow, but we make this the top instead of the bottom, so we would have to obviously make some adjustments here. I did this. We'd have to take this. Why do you keep changing to that? Till the rails run red. Time for dread. Oh gosh, I lost it. Light that fuse, no time for dread. You're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Let's deactivate it because we need this. Time for dread. Oh, we actually need to move it over that way. And we're going to put it right over this. That way our direction of travel. Alright, let's pause this in place because this is where our transfer should technically be. Light the fuse, no time for dread. You're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. So if we put this here, we want to line this track piece up perfectly with the lifting track, so it blends in. You can actually see. Obviously, that's not how it's gonna work, but... So we'll do on trigger. And if I go on here to our triggers, I still don't know why like the track pieces disappeared right there in the station. It's kind of weird. Operations, prestige, sequence, edit. We're gonna add, not that, but our platform here. So basically, once it hits a certain point, you'll see that our transfer track will start to go back down. I think that's going to be the move for it. Let's see where it stops at. Not too bad. That's actually pretty close. Red. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. And then it'll stay up here until the train comes through. Now, I know there's no train going up, but you'll get that visual of the track coming back down to the station, at least. Which is better than nothing. It's really just kind of a work in progress until we figure out what we want to do with that. Obviously, I want to edit the coaster here, and we'll do this. Target speed. We don't want this to go fast. We want it to go really slow. Out of the... There. Okay. And then lift motion. Simple. That's all good. And if we go to our launches here, this is just... obviously, we'd be doing a holding section out here, so... I don't think there's an LSM built in here. With this coaster type, so we would have to do that. With a dual... We do have the dual directional. There's the pneumatic launch, but I don't think it's gonna work. I've tried to get this to work, but it has not worked before. We could try it real quick, because this is actually the compressed air launch, so which would be perfect. Target speed, powder keg would be right at about 50 miles an hour-ish. 53 miles an hour. 2.8 seconds, so the acceleration would be pretty insane. So like if we did this, I just want to test the pneumatic launch, see if it will work for us. Probably not. I just realized I'm probably gonna have to, unfortunately, do the track trace over like the like we did in the first game. There's no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Now we could do an invisible track here so no one can see the track visually there. Other thing.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
But actually removed our other trigger when we... Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. We don't need that one. I hope the pneumatic launch works, but I don't think it's going to because it hasn't in the past, so... But let's just check to see if it will do it. I didn't change this track, by the way. I should have. It's gonna launch it, isn't it? Yeah. Roll back. I didn't change the track type. Powder keg. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. With the pneumatic launch, it just doesn't catch on, and it just literally just goes forward until it just kind of stops. Until it runs out of momentum, and it doesn't actually do the thing. Like, it doesn't actually do the launch. It'll just go there, and it just sits there. It won't actually launch. So that's the main issue with using the pneumatic launch. I would love to use the pneumatic launch, but it just doesn't do anything. So, unfortunately. So here, we would have to do something along the lines of LSM holding section. And then the acceleration rate, we'll just do something crazy. Target speed, we'll do like 54, 53. Launch delay, stop distance. Then we just do LSM. Synchronous motor. For the rest of it. Let's see how the LSMs work with a really high acceleration rate. This should work. There it goes. That's pretty solid. I think that will work out okay. Since we're already doing the we're already going to be gosh dang, why can't I talk? We're already going to be doing the track retracing. We're going to retrace the track with the SNS track, so this should be no problem since it's invisible, but I mean, we could use a drive tire launch. That way, like, you don't need the mod, but, like, let's be honest, guys, I'm going to be using the mod for this park in general, so, if you want to open the park yourself, you're going to have the mods, and that's just to give it the best possible experience. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. And just forever launch it. I don't know how tall I actually made this. It's only about, in real life, yeah, I made that way too tall. Real life, it's probably about 90 feet, no more than 100 feet. This first hill. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Alright, so something I'm gonna try and do here. Hey, what's up, Donovan? How's it going? Welcome to the stream, man. Right now, we're just doing some prototyping, testing with, whoa. Why'd you launch out like that? I changed that to where it should go out slowly. Why did you change to 54 miles an hour? It's gonna be 3 miles an hour. And but don't change the speed on this. Dude, don't change the launch speed. You're separate from all this. Like, come on. You can't change my target speed.
Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no
No
time for
for dread.
Oh, we're gonna have a
Blast on this powder keg. Hey, that area is restricted. You're too close to that nitro. You smell smoke.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for
I don't know if we'll make it through this track piece. Probably not. Hey, get me out of here! Yeah, it wasn't gonna have enough speed. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Still the rails run red. Dread. But we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Your powder keg.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for
Red.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
Invisible track.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red.
Light that fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Have a blast on this powder keg. The Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread.
We're gonna have a blast on
This powder keg.
Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for
Dread.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on
Alright, now we gotta figure out the SNS track of what track or what coaster we would use. I'm guessing the Murphy and Son Star Loop is our only option here. It's gonna have that track that most resembles Powder Keg, so if you ask me. Like, to me that looks more the most like Powder Keg's track. Dread. Powder Keg. Get this aligned in here. Alright. See if we can get that to line up with the wheel assembly pretty well, which honestly not too bad. Dread. Not going to fit perfectly, but it's going to be close. Stay about right there. It's powder keg. On this powder keg.
Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse,
No time for red.
oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. This powder keg.
This powder keg.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread.
Red.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread.
Red.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
What I'm confused by? Should be able to go shorter than that with the no limits mod.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread.
Red.
On this powder keg.
Alright. This is kind of like our cleanest test yet.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the
The Ozarks till the rails run red.
like that fuse, no time for dread.
Red.
We're gonna have a blast powder keg.
Like, that might be a little bit too far forward, but pretty good speed though going over the hill.
Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
Powder keg.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time.
Time for dread.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
This powder keg. Why did our trigger disappear, by the way? I don't know why our trigger disappeared. On the wrong coaster. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like the fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a
Alright, I'm also going to get some audio from Planet Coaster 1 that we have from the previous recreation. If I can find it. I had a lot in here, so let's see if we can find powder keg stuff. Might be in the P's. L-M-N-O-P. Powder keg. Break. Powder keg. Powder kegs. Lift. We're just gonna grab all of these, actually. Transfer. Break run. Powder keg launch. And we're just gonna copy them. Planet Coaster 2's audio. Hey, get me out of here! You smell smoke. Lift, transfer audio. At the train at all times. Oh, it's the siren. We have the lift. Didn't play the whole thing though. Or did it? Yeah, it stopped right there. Why aren't you playing the whole audio? There's more to it than that, pretty sure. Under ambient, so maybe that's why. If we set it to music, it'll probably be correct.
Keep your hands, arms, and feet inside the train at all times.
That area is restricted. Where's the rest of the audio? It's supposed to do the hey, look out. Shh. She's gonna blow. Huh. I know what audio I had. I know I had more than that. Unless there's another file that I didn't do, but there's the break run. Woo! Yeah, I'm probably not gonna use that one because I don't use that one anymore. Use the powder keg theme.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time.
Oh, there it is. I guess it's part of this. Launch audio. Gonna blow! That was the way we stopped it on that siren. Is pretty funny. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Why is there a 1 and 2? It's 2. Like, why is 2 there? There's nothing there. Confusing the heck out of me, man. Alright, this one will have launch audio. And test. Cuts off. Why do you cut off? Don't cut off. That makes me sad. I need to play for the entire duration, man. I don't know how long the clip is, but... She's gonna blow! She's gonna blow! Alright, trigger sequence. 5.5 there. We need another speaker. Gonna play the powder keg launch. Number 3, we'll add this one. We need to play it later after it launches. Get it to about 8 seconds, maybe. Change that to 9. Be just a tad longer, but and probably yeah. Anyways,
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
powder keg. Alright. At that fuse, no time to dread. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. That fuse, no time to dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Hardest part lining all this up. Looks pretty good right there. You can see it is slightly off though. It's like impossible to get it completely correct. Oh, there's not two table tracks. It's just a visual thing I'm doing. I'm doing a visual thing to where, like, this one's down here while it's resting, and then when this one comes down, you know, this one will disappear. We'll say this is very difficult to get right. Very difficult. Honestly, we're probably gonna have to... the best way to do this is probably gonna be to... Where'd the one piece go? I'm probably gonna have to have a actual track piece here so I can at least get it lined up. That's probably what I'm gonna have to do. So we go here. We would have to basically get it to where we can see the track. So we have to get rid of the launch temporarily. Just so we can line this up properly. You can see it does ever so slightly get off, which is a bummer. We're also not at the best height either. Till the rails run red. Light the fuse, no time for dread. Have a blast on this powder. probably shouldn't go too far into this because it'll probably be changing it, but you know. Especially because I'm not using the floor plane right now, so... But this is just kind of... Again, I'm just kind of trying to do a general test right now of everything. Just a very general test. Anyways, welcome to the stream, guys, if you've joined recently.
Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no
No time for dread.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this.
Hey, there's no time for dread. Let that fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Dread. Spider keg. Don't change the color on me, right? Just because I. Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do that? Blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Use no time for dread.
Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Like that fuse, no time for dread.
But yeah, that's gonna be the gist of powder keg a little bit of some early testing. Why is this so hard to click on? I don't understand. It's literally not clicking on it. Holy crap. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg. How close are we? Oh yeah, we're way off on the, on the floor plan. Look at that. Let's take a look at the transfer's not too far off, just slightly. We just need our Honestly, just kind of rotate everything slightly to the right, and it'd probably be lined up just fine. Took all this, and we just went boop, like so. We just have to shorten up the launch track, basically, and that's pretty good. You can see our brake run's actually not too shabby either.
Shooting through the ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
Yeah, all we have to really do is shorten the launch track, because the top of the hill should be right here. So the ascension should start ascending the hill right here. Once should start going up. Really awfully shaped hill there. Go ahead and fix that a little bit. Rails run red. I use no time for dread. Does this excuse me, have a That is perfect, actually. Not gonna lie. That would be perfect visually. The fact that this can actually rotate left and right is pretty funny. Quite interesting, actually. That it's allowed to rotate left and right. I can't believe how off that is. It just baffles me. Why is that going up? When did I ever rotate that up? Never. That is not the last thing I did. What do you mean? What? Why is it just skipping? Come on, man. Messing with me. Yeah, tracing is the worst. Sure. I just don't understand how this gets so far off. Not even. Like, look at that. That is insane. How far off that got. Stop making the next piece so big. Making me angry. than 0. Still the rails run red. Should be it. So we ascend upwards. Hello, welcome to the stream, y'all. A long time since you commented. Well, I haven't been on here a ton either, so most likely why. There hasn't been anything to comment on. So, a little bit on me. Flank him. There we go. Alright, so that is a little bit. Now the launch track actually looks accurate, kind of, because this is what kind of it would look like with the two things there, like it looks like a cable in here. That is roughly what it would be like, so. Again, not gonna get like far into this or anything, because we're not actually using it, so we actually need to go in here and get the launch set up. Delete that. Alright, I want to set this about probably right here for a linear synchronous holding section. Be around right there. Target speed 53 miles per hour. Launch up the acceleration rate really high. Edit mode, we need to actually delete all of these track pieces here. That, and then the middle part will just be a motor with the same stuff. Auto connect that. Hopefully that should, with the acceleration rate, get it back to where it needs to be. And let's do a quick test here. Why is that going off? Oh, because we gotta, since we messed with the stuff, we're gonna have to redo this triggers again. One is that speaker, which is the audio, okay. Which we should probably put more here. 2 will be the launch. Launch speaker. Which will make much longer. Maybe 8 seconds. Yeah, start at 5 maybe. Somewhere around there. I think we should have like one more speaker for announcement stuff. Put one more speaker here. It's going to play. Keg, launch, transfer audio. Transfer audio. That's what we want. Let's stop it right now. And we're going to do one more trigger sequence. Okay, one more trigger, which is 3. Just going to start playing once it like starts to kind of come around here. Edit. Add objects. Audio. I don't know how long the audio is, so we'll just do 15 seconds. Start. We'll switch the audio type to music. Put everything at 100% because these are a little bit quiet. And boom, with audio effects. Let's go. Or just don't play at all. That's also an option, I suppose. It's got nothing on it. What the heck? I selected better kick transfer audio. No music, apparently. Oh, probably because we switched it over to music, it got rid of it. I see now. I understand it, what happened there. I mean, visually it looks fairly good. All we're just gonna have to do now is get all of our stuff lined up. It'll be pretty cool. Goes. Let's try it this time.
Inside the train at all times.
You'd actually like. We're gonna have to make the audio longer, but. Hey, not too bad for our first attempt. Alright, so number 3, we need to make this much longer. go up to 23 seconds, and the launch started a bit late, I think it was. I could be wrong on that. Move it up a little bit. And really, the delay on the launch should be a lot longer. It does take a lot longer to launch off, which we'll adjust that later.
Arms down and hold on to the lap bar. Keep your hands, arms, and feet inside the train at all times.
Audio kind of launches up that. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And of course, we'll do custom. We're gonna do custom supports on this, like we did in the first game. And then the drop is a lot bigger than the ascension upwards. So, in real life. Good news is should have plenty of room for the new ride whenever it gets built. Whenever we want to add it. Which is pretty neato. I'm not adding another one, I'm trying to move 4. Come on, man.
Inside the train at all times.
I'm the dread. I see we'd adjust this track, it's very off.
And feet inside the train at all times.
I think it's looking pretty good though. Still have to make some adjustments here and there, like audio lines and such, but that is a solid prototype start. And just a prototype. Kind of getting ready that way when we get to it, and actually build it, we'll be we'll be ready. That way we aren't spending too much time on this kind of effect. The rest of the ride is pretty straightforward on how it's going to work. So we're going to do this. We're going to retrace everything until we get to the Buzzsaw Fall section. We're going to not trace it at the Buzzsaw Fall section because it'll go to the flat track. And then we'll get to the lift hill, go back into the regular track, and do the helix, and then we'll hit our brake run. And that will be the ride. So should work fairly decently, and it will be fairly functional, especially with the transfer track. I wish we had transfer tracks in the game. I know for a fact, I just have a feeling that as soon as I get this all built, I have a feeling Frontier is going to be like, hey, here's a transfer track in the game that would work perfect for this. That would be really funny. Not really, but it would be funny. I could see them doing that, though. Will they end up in the game? Who knows? Would be pretty cool, though, if it did actually end up in the game. Gonna have a blast on this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Let's see where this is sitting on the terrain. Real quick. Ba-dum. Alright, and then this will be our time where we about hit Hill Street, which is going to be pretty difficult. It's going to be a challenge to get that right, because obviously we're going to be doing a lot of terrain work there, because it's literally just a hill, which is going to be right here, Hugo's Hill Street. So we got to figure out what we're going to do there. Thankfully, we do have Street View to help us out a lot in that regard. So the way Phase 3 is going to work, since we're coming close to a close on Phase 2, for the most part, we're almost done with Phase 2. I keep saying that, but we still have some stuff we got to do. But Phase 3 is going to be Hill Street here. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom here, probably to Hugo's, the saloon. Hugo's here, and maybe like the start of like Powder Keg's entrance. Probably go all the way down there, and we'll build like the wood carvers, Tintype, all of these buildings here with Fried Fancies and the eating area, lumber camp, and all that. That will be Phase 3. A lot of buildings here to build, but I don't think it's going to take super long. I think it's going to be a lot easier than like the square and such. The biggest difficulty with it is obviously since it's on terrain, it's going to be the hardest part. And then Phase 4 is when we're going to finally get into some rides like American Plunge and Wildfire. So that will be fun to get around to. Can't wait to get that going. And then Phase 5 is going to be Powder Keg and the Opera House, all that area. So really, once we get past Phase 5, we'll have like all of this side of the park done, which will be pretty cool to see. I think that will be quite a bit of an accomplishment once we get through those first 5 phases, because that's like a huge chunk of the park, honestly, and probably a good chunk. Like, definitely not quite half, but it would be maybe a quarter, maybe a little bit past a quarter of the park, you know? So You have the whole left side of the park done at that point, though. So that would be huge.
We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
No time for dread. So we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. Alright, get Google Maps up here, and we're gonna try and do some Street View at the beginning of Hill Street here. On this powder keg, shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. We're gonna have a blast on this powder keg. The rails run dread. Blast on this powder keg. What are the chances they get a hyper? Unlikely. Honestly. Gonna be unlikely. Don't know. I know that's not what the enthusiasts want to hear, but it's unlikely. Quite unlikely that will happen. Basically just gonna have to do some work here on just like some path essentials and make it look. Don't know of any other Mach models that are actually good. Are you kidding me? Mach has a ton of models that are good. Besides a hyper, like, they've got so much. Mach Extreme Spinning Coaster, obviously, I know we already have one of those, so, like, that one's out of the question, but... Mach Multi-Launch, they do family coasters, The Striker coaster looks insane. insane, just really good. A little bit insane too, I guess you could say. Yeah, well, I think Mach is one of the better coaster manufacturers out there, so. And I think they're kind of on the rise of being one of the top ones right now. If you ask me. And obviously I know a little more information right now. Can't reveal anything. I'm not gonna reveal anything. All I know is we got big announcements coming up for the next year. We got some big announcements coming up. Now we gotta do all this to kind of connect everything together here. View is gonna kind of help us out a bit. GCI, Mach, Vekoma, RMC, Intamin. GCI, I love GCI. Will I put them in the top 5? Probably not. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of close. They're right up there. They haven't done anything crazy lately. Why I would say they're not quite up there, but I agree with Vekoma, Mach, Intamin. For sure. Vekoma's definitely up on their game. RMC, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'd put RMC in the top 5 right now. Mostly because just RMC kind of sucks. Their coasters are fun. Don't get me wrong. But I think the manufacturer themselves aren't very good. I think as builders, they're not the best. I think they kind of lack on their skills there. I know enthusiasts love RMC, but after working with at an RMC for 12 years, you kind of see a lot of their flaws. And they got a lot of them. Like, a lot of flaws. You're gonna let me go this way, aren't you? I gotta go all the way around. This street view is so finicky. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have Street View in Silver Dollar City now. But it is a very finicky street view to, like, navigate. Why can't I go this way? Well, let me go where I want to go. I have to like exit out and then drop myself where I need to be. It's hard to get to Hugo's Hill Street. This is not where I dropped myself. And it won't let me go where I'm clicking. Alright, let's go further onto Hill Street. That's still not Hill Street. Oh my gosh. I put myself halfway down Hill Street and it didn't put me on Hill Street. Why can't I go up the hill? Did they not do a spot up the hill? Because that's really stupid if they didn't. This is one of like the most famous spots at Silver Dollar City, and they didn't even go up the hill. Like, why is there no stuff there? You aren't new. Give them another 20 years. No, they've had time, dude. They should know what they're doing by now. They're not that new. We shouldn't have to wait another 20 years. I don't think they're gonna get better. Because RMC does have that attitude of, our rides are perfect. There's nothing wrong. Kind of have that little bit of... they have an ego to them. The fact that they couldn't properly build the new Fire in the Hole, a simple ride concept with 3 tiny drops, the fact that they have issues with that is pretty concerning.
Tower. Fire in the hole.
Hit the
You're saying that RMC needs to take 30 years. B&M didn't take that long to be good. They were good right out of the gate.
The ball knobbers have set the whole town ablaze. Go!
They're better than B&M coaster-wise. Oh, B&M's got some good coasters out there.
Patches! I'm gonna take your hide! Chicken! Waffles half-been chicken!
Wiley, drop that dynamite or I'll have to shoot.
Go ahead, Marshall. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Ow! Get after those bolt knobbers and stop that fire.
Oh, that's their excuse? Something they'd never done before? They can't create something that has 3 tiny drops? Come on. Like, listen to that. Like, something they've never done before. We've done all these big thrill rides, but we can't handle, like, a little kid coaster, basically. Like, that's not an excuse.
Landers, get back here and put on your pants!
I can't, Sadie. I ain't got no pants no more. The dang ball knobber stole them.
Stole them? What?
Like, a lot of the public doesn't know the amount of issues that's Fire in the Hole's dealing with right now. It had a lot of issues this year, and I hope they come up with a solution in the off-season, because if they don't, the capacity on the ride is going to be... it's already so bad right now. They can only run 3 trains right now, and they can't dispatch the train until the train ahead of it gets to... basically... until it gets to the captured scene, until it gets after the first drop, which is insane.
What the hell would they want with your pants?
So capacity is a nightmare right now. It's running... they're lucky if they can hit 300 in 1 hour right now.
Don't worry. They don't bite much.
I want to clarify, like, when I say all these things, I'm saying that I'm not saying that the rides are bad. Like, ride experience wise, they're fantastic and great. I'm kind of looking more of the, so one coaster. Oh, it's not one, dude. You're not. I'm not talking. I'm just giving one example. You think one coaster? I could list it, man. Outlaw Run is having a ton of issues right now. It had a ton of issues when it opened. Yeah, it was a prototype when it first opened. Lightning Rod, don't even have to explain that one. Literally. Look at Twisted Colossus. Never duels. You're very lucky if you get a duel on that. It could have been designed so much better. Again, I'm not saying these are bad rides. They're fantastic rides. And Steel Vengeance, ton of issues when it opened. They're probably still having a ton of issues on it, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a reason why Cedar Fair didn't want to work with RMC anymore. You know what I mean? I'm surprised Hershans are still working with them because, like, I'm surprised that there's still a good relationship there. Like, you cannot convince... I have worked on an RMC for 12 years. That's the ride operator's fault? What? What are you talking about, the ride operator's fault? What are you even talking about? Everything I'm explaining is all maintenance-wise. Everything is maintenance. Nothing I have described has anything to do with operator faults. So you're blaming us. Okay. I'm the reason... No, we're the reason... The operators are the reason why all of these technical issues are happening? No. Stop trying to defend them. I'm not saying they make bad rides. They make fantastic rides. Oh, I'm talking about the technical side of things and the maintenance side of things. They are far from good when it comes to that. They have a lot of work to do in that regard, is what I'm saying. And if you're probably talking about Twisted Colossus. That's not the ride operator's fault. If they would have designed it better, it could, like, that's not an operator thing. Like, the guests take too long to load. That is a guest issue right there. That is not an operator issue. If you know what I mean. I don't think he's actually trolling. No, he's legit trying to defend RMC. But that's not an operator's fault. That's gonna be more guest issues right there. And I think the ride should be designed to where it should duel every time. It's obviously possible. Look at West Coast Racers. You know what I mean? Look at West Coast Racers. It can be done. Like, it can be done to where the trains can duel every time. Because to me, that's part of the whole dueling experience. And, again, I'm not saying they make bad rides. They make fantastic rides. It can... That's where you're wrong there. It can duel with two trains. I've seen it. Every time I've been there, they've ran two trains, and you have a chance to duel at least once. On at least one of the runs. If that makes sense. Not both, because you go on both sides of the track, you won't have a chance to duel on both sides, but you can duel at least once. But the thing is even if they ran multiple trains, they can't get the trains out fast in time, and it just doesn't happen. And it's not something the operators can really change, you know what I mean? And Outlaw Run has had the most downtime out of any ride at Silver Dollar City this year. which is concerning because it was behind Powder Keg, which has a lot of downtime. It's an SNS. And then it's impossible to full duel with 2 trains, but like it still doesn't duel regardless. That's my point. Even if it's running 2 trains, you should at least be guaranteed at least 1 duel on one of your runs. I'm not saying it should be able to full duel with 2 trains. Like, obviously that's not possible. I'm just saying, like, even if they did have multiple trains, it's like never gonna duel. That's my argument there, but it doesn't matter because like it could have been my point is that it could have been designed better to where it could duel every time. And my point is that it's been done on West Coast racers. All you have to do is design it to where the train's not going to go over the lift hill until the other train comes through. And if you're on 2 trains, you can do 1 duel guaranteed, and then the other run you obviously can't because with the only 2 train operation. And I think, again, you're taking me really wrong here. I'm not saying they don't make good rides. The ride experiences themselves are fantastic and are some of the best in the world. I'm just, again, going on a technical aspect, on the technical side of things. Again, Outlaw Run's been horrible maintenance-wise this year. There's maintenance. Our maintenance guys don't even want to work there. Like, everyone tries to get out of Outlaw Run when they're on the maintenance team there. Like, that's how bad it is. Where it waits till in the station until the other dispatches. I think they could have had it stop on the lift hill, yes, or make the lift hill so incredibly slow that the other train is gonna catch up. So if they're both on the lift hill, and typically they're gonna be both on the lift hill at the same time most of the time, but like if they are both on the lift hill, the other one should not go over the top at all until the other one catches up. So when does Planet Code 2 give us a Mobius loop option? I mean, you don't really need an option for it. If you line up your block zones right, it's pretty easy to make a Mobius loop already.
The monorails are gonna blow up the bridge.
You know what I mean?
You got
But yes, I do think they should have made it to where, like, I would say a good 90% of the time, the other train is on the lift hill when the other one is being dispatched. So, like, that train should not go over the top of the hill until the other one catches up. Like, 100%. I know it does have a feature where it does slow down, but it doesn't, like, if it's towards the top, it's gonna go over. It should definitely wait for the other train. Anyways, I'm not gonna argue over that anymore. Again, Twisted Colossus, fantastic ride. Even more fantastic when you do get the rare opportunity to duel. But, so... My point is, RMC is a maintenance nightmare when it comes to the maintenance crews at the parks. It's not maintenance friendly. Not maintenance friendly at all. And I know that because I work with maintenance guys that work on RMCs. Multiple RMCs. Fire in the Hole and Outlaw Run. You know? And I've worked with these guys for years. Yes, the train in front slows down to a super slow crawl. It's always done that. And then, but it shouldn't go over if it's towards the top, because it still goes over if it's towards the top. Again, it doesn't matter. I don't care about that now. The point is it doesn't duel enough. Okay, it doesn't duel like it should. That's the only point I'm making. And I'm just stating the facts on maintenance-wise. And again, I'm just saying that the, am I a ride operator or a maintenance worker? I'm a ride operator, but I know our maintenance guys very well. And I've been on the ride for over 12 years, since Outlaw Run opened. And I've seen stuff that maintenance sees. You know, like, I get to see what maintenance does every morning.
Right over here.
I'm no mechanic, I'm no operator, but I've talked to the mechanics that work on the ride. I talked to them, and yeah, they hate it. No one wants to work at an RMC when you're on maintenance. Like, that's just how it is. I'm telling you though, like those Christmas events with Six Flags and Worlds of Fun, they're missing out because SDC's busiest time of the year, most profitable time of the year is Christmas.
My new pants, you ornery
Lock
fool.
them bundles under the dresser.
Can't you even tie a ding-dang knot?
Hurry.
What's the matter, Bugs? You chicken?
Watch out, you dang fool. You're gonna fall. Now look at what you done. Uh-oh.
And I do want to make it clear, I'm not trying to make you hate RMC or dislike RMC. Because I love RMC, I love their coasters, and they have fantastic rides. I'm just pointing out the technical issues that they have, are concerning, to say the least. This has been one of the worst years for maintenance on Outlaw. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want you to get on the wrong foot here. Like, I enjoy RMC. I love RMC, and as rides themselves and everything, I just think they can execute their maintenance and technical side of things better. Again, I'm no mechanic. I'm none of that. But this is the stuff I've observed over the years of, you know, because there's talks with that Outlaw Run might not even make it that much longer. There's no rumors of it being removed by any means, but like, it might not last super long. Like, it might not have a super long life. And again, I know Outlaw Run was a prototype. It was the first of its kind. It was the first, and it's a topper track. I could definitely see them eyeBoxing it at some point. That was in the discussion, but they decided not to because of the price. It would have costed too much, so it would have gotten like a lightning rod treatment where they replace some of it with iBox track, but yeah, it is what it is, so
I think I'm stuck. I can't reach.
Bridge ain't gonna hold. Bye-bye.
Bugs and Patches, we foiled your plot, and now we're using your dynamite to blow up the water tower and put out the fire.
Don't throw that switch. A train's coming that way.
bum 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 bum. That's good that they kept Outlaw Woody instead of turning it into a hybrid. I mean, if they keep it as woody, I don't see it lasting as long as it should, you know? It's not that popular with the GP. Honestly, Outlaw Run is one of the least popular coasters at Silver Dollar City when it comes to general public. Obviously, the enthusiasts like it, but even the enthusiasts are turning on it, saying that it's super rough, so... Even though it's not, you know.
Tower's gonna blow. Fire in the hole.
Yeah, I love Outlaw Run. Outlaw Run is my baby. It is my, it is my big, the coaster that I, you know, kind of grew up with, you know, in a way, because it's where I started, and it was my first job, and I'm still working there, which is insane. I'm in charge of the ride now, so, and I think smoothness-wise, it's ran pretty good this year. It's just, maintenance side of things, it's had a lot of issues. A lot of technical issues, a lot of restraint issues, and everything. Seatbelts suck, too. Absolutely hate the seatbelts. Missed 2013 when we didn't have seatbelts. This new floor plan makes it a lot easier to make the layout for Outlaw, though, so that's good. Excited about that. Got Wildfire over here. Let's go ahead and do a manual save. I'll probably head out here in a little bit. Does Outlaw Run have fast operations? We can. The seatbelts kind of hold us back quite a bit. The restrictive trains, or the restrictive seats restraints, also kind of hold us back quite a bit. Because I'd say we probably average kicking someone off every other train. Almost every train. We do have to kick someone off due to size. That happens very often, and it does limit what we can do. Without seatbelts, we were able to hit 1,000 in 1 hour, no problem, in 2013. But ever since they put in the seatbelts, the highest that we've ever gotten in an hour is 866. So we range between 600 and 800 riders an hour, roughly, if we're running at full capacity with 2 trains and full staff. If we're not running full staff, because sometimes, which is a lot of the times, is we don't have our full staff on dock, our cycles aren't as high because we don't have that extra person to help. During then, I think the highest we usually hit is around 600. It's usually between 500 and 600 an hour with 2 trains. With 1 train, we can hit about 360 to 400 and 420 an hour, somewhere around there. When you hear these theoretical capacities of rides getting like 12 to 1,400 riders per hour, I don't think those are very accurate. I think you got to take off quite a few hundred on there to, because the guests are going to slow you down, loose articles are going to slow you down. But yeah, RMC trains are pretty unforgiving when it comes to everything. So when we do have guests that are struggling to get the seatbelt buckled or get the restraint down, it does kind of cost us some time on that. Outlaw doesn't have the worst when it comes to capacity, for sure. Typically when it comes to capacity, Wildfire is our big guy. Wildfire is going to get 1,000 and can easily hit 1,000 riders an hour. They have 32 riders per train, so they definitely have the best capacity on Park. Thunderation also has a really good capacity as well, because they also have a lot on each train. I think they're 34 per train, so they can hit 1,000 in an hour. Thunderation and Wildfire are the two rides that can hit 1,000,000 riders in one season. They don't always do it, but Thunderation has really high capacity. After those two, I would say Wildfire usually has the highest, or usually Thunderation and Wildfire usually have the highest. And then after that, coaster-wise, I would say it's probably Time Traveler would be next. They typically are a little bit higher than Outlaw Run on capacity. Again, they don't have seatbelts. The restraints check themselves. They only have 16 per train, but they can get those trains out a little bit faster than Outlaw. Easily, it's a little bit more, not as restrictive as Outlaw when it comes to getting guests through. Excuse me. And even though they only run 2 trains and they never run 3 trains, they can usually get about, I'd say they probably get around 600 to 700 riders an hour. Very similar to Outlaw, but I think they're a little bit more consistent of hitting those numbers, so they're going to get higher numbers for the season overall. Like, they're just a little more consistent with their numbers than Outlaw Run. Outlaw Run can range. It just depends. We can have good hours and we can have bad hours, so it just kind of depends on our guest for the day. After Time Traveler, it would definitely be Outlaw when it comes to capacity. And then Powder Keg is at the bottom. One of the ones closer to the bottom. And then you have Expo Coaster. I would actually say Fire in the Hole actually has pretty good numbers overall. Up until recently, they're definitely going to be at the bottom now with all the modifications they made. Only being able to run 3 trains and can only put through like 300 an hour right now. So if they get that fixed, they're one of the top ones actually. They can hit about 600 to 700 an hour as well. But in their current state, they only hit about 300 an hour. So I have not been on the Gerstlauer trains on RMC yet. I have not had the opportunity, but I'm sure they're a lot more comfortable overall. But yeah, that's kind of how I would say the capacity kind of rolls with on those rides. So pretty proud of how my custom trains turned out. For Outlaw Run, they look pretty solid. The Zero car is differently shaped than most RMCs, so I had to do with what I could there, but I still made it work. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Pretty awesome. Powder Keg trains turned out pretty cool too, wherever the trains are. Oh, they're crashing at the end there. Blast on this Powder Keg.
Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this Powder Keg.
Gonna have this stuck in my head the rest of the day now.
This Powder Keg.
Keep your hands, arms, and feet inside the train at all times.
That area is restricted. We're gonna have a blast on this Powder Keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread.
We're gonna have a blast on this Powder Keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run red. Light that fuse, no time for dread. Oh, we're gonna have a blast on this powder keg.
Titan. Titan was pretty good. I haven't been on Titan, but I have been on Goliath at Magic Mountain, which is a very similar ride, and I think that ride's underrated. I actually really enjoyed it. There's some pretty good moments of airtime and actually some intense moments. You know, I know a lot of people don't like the mid-course where it comes to almost pretty much a complete stop, and that was the only downside I thought of that ride, though. The rest of the ride was really fun. Like, I thought it was actually pretty good for, you know, a Giovanni Hyper, you know. And I think Titan is very close to the same layout. Not completely the same. I think there's some slight differences, but they're pretty close to being the same. I don't know if the ride experience is completely the same or close to, but yeah, I think it was like the airtime hill right after the turnaround actually caught me off guard. I actually got some really good airtime on that, so I think they're really pretty underrated rides, honestly, if you ask me. But, alright. I think we're going to call that good for SDC for now. We did do some work. We didn't do a ton, but we did do some work. And then I did, like, a lot of prototyping on Powder Keg and stuff, so... Mock water battle, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. I think you mentioned it earlier. I would love to see that. I'm glad I'm feeling pretty good today. Honestly, like, I haven't coughed a ton. I have coughed some, but not much. But now that I've said it, I'm going to be coughing up a ton. You know what I mean? Gonna be on my conscious now, and I'm just gonna be constantly clearing my throat. You know what I'm saying? Have you guys seen the Stardust Racers recreation? I think I've shown it another time on another stream, but it is really good, actually. Really good. Look at this thing. Custom supports are amazing. The timing on the trains are perfect. Incredible. They finish pretty much simultaneously. I hear that the green side's the better side. But I don't know. Have a blast on this powder keg. Shooting through the Ozarks till the rails run. Yeah, they did a really good job on the train, custom trains on this. Look fantastic. Let's go. Round technically 1 for me. Yeah, that's what I heard. The green side's a little more intense, so if I ever get out, once I get out there for the first time, I think I'm gonna probably do the green side first. I got really high expectations for Stardust Racers. I'm curious if I'm gonna like it more than Velocicoaster, because Velocicoaster is my favorite. So, I've heard some. I think I heard majority of people prefer Velocicoaster, but there's still there are still a good amount of people that prefer Stardust, so. Okay, what are we doing? It's gonna start as soon as I exit out. Because it's open, that's why. And it's doing it's waiting until there's people. There's a maximum waiting time, it's like 2 minutes, so. Wanted to go to Epic Universe, but with the pass holder stuff, they limited days availability. I think they're actually gonna, I think on the 1st, they're actually about to start allowing it to be a part of like multi-park pass. Like, it's gonna be a lot more open starting this next year, so a lot of that stuff will not be limited anymore, so I'm excited for that. Pretty cool that they're gonna start allowing us to go more than like 1 or 2 days, you know. I don't like it more than the Velocicoaster, but Iron Gwazi is better than both, so neither are the best in Florida. I have not been on Iron Gwazi yet. I'm curious if Iron Gwazi would be my favorite RMC over Steel Vengeance. I know majority of people I think have Iron Gwazi over Steel Vengeance, but I like the length of Steel Vengeance, so, but I don't know. I never got to do Iron Gwazi. I've looked at it in person, but I've never actually got to ride it. It was just a giant paperweight the last time I went to Busch Gardens. It was just a big paperweight sitting there. It was ready to open, it just wasn't open. I was back in like the pandemic and stuff, so it wasn't quite open yet. Which is a bummer, but I'm sure I'll get out there at some point. I haven't taken a Florida trip since 2021, so. The Celestial Spin is like one of my most anticipated elements on this ride. I know, it's gonna be hard to top Velocicoaster for me. Velocicoaster's my #1 right now. Overall, it's my favorite coaster of all time. I was certainly disappointed that I haven't been able to ride Iron Gwazi yet, and I've been to Busch Gardens a couple times now. But yeah, I'm probably gonna head out after this. I've got some plans later. Got some coworkers going out to dinner, so we're gonna go out to dinner, get some food. Yeah. Velocicoaster's amazing, like, more than Steel Vengeance, I agree with that. But I like Maverick more. I'm a fan of super intense rides. Pantherian is my #1. Yeah, I would love to ride Pantherian. Steel Vengeance, or I got Velocicoaster right above Steel Vengeance for me. And I love Maverick. I'm not gonna argue with that. Maverick has a very special place in my heart, and I don't have it above those two, but I do have Maverick still in my top 3. No, yeah, top 3. It's #3 for me. right behind Velocicoaster and Steel Vengeance, but I feel like Pantherian would be super high for me because I enjoy intense rides as well. Never been to King's Dominion before, so sad I never got to experience Volcano. Here we go, other side. Excuse me. So cool. The lighting in Plinko 2 is so much better. So cool. I gotta get up to this park, man. Alright. Well, beautiful. Like, just look at the dedication and attention to detail on this recreation. It's insane. Definitely recommend checking it out for your guys' self. Like, I would love to see a huge recreation of the entire park. Like, that'd be insane. But we are still missing some rides, like the Kuka Arm. So you couldn't do properly do like could do it in Planet Coaster 1, but not Planet Coaster 2 because we don't have that ride back in the game yet. Still a few rides here and there that I want to see return from Planet Coaster 1. You know, it is interesting that this is the spiritual successor to Dueling Dragons. Yes, they had that Dueling Coaster in Universal for a while, and they removed it, so now they wanted to bring a Dueling Coaster back, and in my opinion, I haven't ridden this yet, but I have a feeling this is much better than Dueling Dragons. Especially since you're going to get a duel every time, which makes it much better. They dispatch the trains together, and then the launches adjust to make sure the train, based on the weight, to make sure the trains stay together, which is such a cool feature on this ride. Mach did really good on this coaster, and I can't wait to get on it myself. Definitely probably one of Mach's best creations of all time. Like, presentation, intensity, like, just amazing. Alright guys, I think I'm going to head out for now because I've run out a little bit of time, and I have more content on the way for you guys, so stay tuned for all that. I think I'm officially kind of back from my big hibernation of sickness, so been sick so much lately that it's been really tough to get any sort of content going and motivation to do content, so but I appreciate you guys being around here and being patient with me, so you guys are amazing. So hopefully we'll start doing more streams again and continue to do more. So I've watched El Toro Ryan's video on it about the Heartline roll coming back. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I would love for that to happen, and I'm rooting for it to happen, but me personally, it just sounds a little far-fetched. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just kind of seems far-fetched to me. But I want you to know that I'm all for it. Like, that would be amazing if that actually happened. But I'm going to keep my my expectations in check, so I don't want to be disappointed if it doesn't happen, so... but I would love for that to happen. And coming from El Toro Ryan, you know, that's usually a pretty good source. You know, he knows his stuff pretty well, so... since he's definitely talked about it as well. But alright guys, I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll be back very, very soon. So make sure you guys have a great day and be cool tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time, and we'll see you guys later. So thanks so much again, and goodbye.